Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also PayPal, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to David Abendroth, Twine to Triangle, Mitch Kennedy, Original D-Rose, Rod, The Name's Burley, Twad Wazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, JMels24, Yu Lamento, M, Iron26, Endless, Flat Earth Sage, Golden McKiernan, Retro Bill, More Books, Cannabear, Bogey, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Will Brax, Mel B Styles, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Maria Nealands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, The Real Gabster, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Texas Mike, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show. Jin.
Everyone.
Yeah, he's a fairly regular
Yeah.
here as well.
Yeah, Gen CBR1, yeah. Some man.
So
He's very passionate about his flat earth.
Are you not?
Well, since he's been starting to show me things, I'm like, whoa. Makes a lot of sense.
Fair enough. We have a fairly set routine when we go live, which is to say we go through housekeeping questions, as they probably unfamiliar with housekeeping.
Yeah, man.
So housekeeping is just a way of keeping the general audience or the people who are here like yourself on their toes about the relevant questions that are asked in this debate.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, they run by in the intro as well. I think most of them, there's a couple have been added since that particular intro's been made, which is a number of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting, man.
I've been given some evidence of rotation today, Nathan.
Okay, cool. What's the evidence?
Apparently a gyrotheodolite can only work because it picks up the Earth's rotation. There's no other way it can work.
Okay.
And when you switch it on, the gyro automatically finds true north.
That's not accurate. But either, if you just accept it at face value, okay, so his claim is that there's a gyro compass that's, what, processing? What's the claim?
Yes, a gyrotheodolite that stays fixed on true north for building tunnels and surveying.
How's that prove we spin?
So it's just a theodolite with a gyro attached to it.
Sure,
That when they find true north, it stays fixed on true north. And when you do the reading into it, what it does is they pick a star to find their true north. And then obviously when that star moves, they equate that to the Earth rotating under the fixed point above them.
Okay, well, it doesn't prove anything. It just proves that they've made an assumption that the Earth's moving rather than the star's moving. It doesn't prove it. How do they suggest that it proves it?
Well, they give a citation from a manual that says that this can pick up the rotation of the Earth.
Yes, but how?
But unfortunately, when it goes into the details on how that they like to avoid, they pick a star as an inertial point in the sky. And then obviously the stars are moving, so then that is equated to the Earth moving, but they claim it's the Earth. Obviously.
Oh, so the stars in the inertial reference frame, therefore we're non-inertial and rotating. That would shorten flight times. If Earth was a non-inertial turning reference frame turning beneath an inertial reference frame, then a flight travelling from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles would only take an hour and a half rather than 4.5 hours because Earth would be turning underneath it as a non-inertial turning reference frame. That doesn't happen. In other words,
Correct.
when anybody claims compass, gyro, what else, pendulum, anything really that they assert is 2 reference frames. Okay, well that means Earth's turning underneath as a separate reference frame. That shortens flight times. It means a hot air balloon leaves the non-inertial turning reference frame and the Earth turns underneath it at the same rate. Well, we'd notice.
I actually did point that out, and they told me that that was word salad.
Well, there we go. If they just want to claim word salad, then they want to believe their bias rather than listen to reason. Because if you've got a reference frame that's non-inertial and inertial being the observational reference frame, then the drift that you're noticing is not actual. That is to say, the effect is induced because you are turning beneath the stars, according to their claim. So we're turning beneath the stars then. That'll shorten flight times. Because we'd be turning beneath things that left the non-inertial turning reference frame. Exactly as is claimed. But they're going,
Nathan,
oh,
you
what's
hit it
not...
on the head. They don't want to listen to reason.
If
You
they don't
hit
want to
it
listen
right
to
in
their
the
claim
head.
fail, they want their claim to work. They want to have their cake and eat it. They want to say that we've got 2 reference frames, inertial and non-inertial. And the induced effect of stars seeming to drift is because we're turning beneath them on a non-inertial reference frame. Okay, well then we're on a non-inertial reference frame turning beneath stuff. We'd notice. What, it's only the stars that do that? Right, well that's not evidence. You need to demonstrate that we've got these 2 separate reference frames. And if you go into how we don't see an effect of 2 reference frames, which is inevitably what they do, well then they're in the cognitive pain that has to explain why we don't see the effect of 2 reference frames. Globiolus. At which point I lose interest. It's like, believe what you like. I know we're not turning. If you want to believe we're turning by the assertion that we've got 2 reference frames, but we just don't notice, then go on your way. Fine. No worries. Believe what you like.
Am I correct in saying that when the stars are what's actually moving, but the Earth is stationary, this is the effect that they're seeing, that they're claiming is the Earth rotation, but regardless, it doesn't prove it either way. Is that correct?
No, it does, because if the claim that they are making has other consequences, the claim they're making is that Earth turns underneath the stars. Okay, well, if Earth is turning underneath the stars, then it's a non-inertial turning reference. That's their claim. You're having to overly clarify back their own claim, so that when you say, so we're turning underneath stuff then, and they go, no, that's where you walk away. We've just like literally gone through a couple of minutes clarifying that they're claiming we are a non-inertial turning reference frame turning underneath an inertial reference frame then. Yeah. Well, that would shorten flight times because we'd be an inertial reference frame when we're in the plane and we're on the non-inertial turning reference frame turning beneath it when we're on the Earth. That has consequences. Oh, well, no, we haven't got those consequences. Well, why are you claiming it then? They want to. If you point out the consequences of their claim, they very quickly want to deny their own claim. At which point, you just have to walk away and go, "You're a numpty."
Yeah, so it's like very obvious, right? It's like if Earth was moving, we'd see this. It's not moving, but the stars are moving. Simple. I don't know why people
Yeah,
are
I think
fighting
that's
with
what
it.
I was trying to get at. This precession that they're seeing is due to the fact that the stars are moving, not the Earth. Is that correct?
They're
Stars are
assuming
moving.
2 reference frames, and they'll detail them
Yeah,
until you point out the consequences.
yeah. Well, they think the consequences are word salad, so I think it's a waste of time, like you said.
Yeah, they want to believe it. They're looking to affirm their bias by proving you wrong somehow, when you don't have an inertial or a non-inertial claim to make. But they want theirs to be true. So by proving a flat earther wrong when he doesn't have a claim about there being 2 reference frames, only for the flat earth to point out the consequences of there being 2 reference frames, for them to then deny that there's any consequences of there being 2 reference frames. So it goes on. I hate Coriolis. I think it's a crap argument. I hate it. People tell me all the time how good I am at arguing for Coriolis or arguing against it. I hate it. I think it's a horrible argument. It's just left in convolution every single time you have it. Nobody wins.
It's not just that argument. It's all arguments. Nobody wants to look at the consequences of certain things. Even in the church, I heard an angry preacher the other day, seen a video. And instead of him going to the Bible, not Danny Falk, to somebody else, he went to his 50 years of living on Earth and astronauts, Christian astronauts that he knows, that walked on the moon and orbited the planet and looked down from where they were and gave glory to God. And he challenged anybody to go to this man's face and tell him he's a liar. But nothing from the word of God.
Indeed. Hopefully I'll have something new to cover today. I don't know. I think I'm done with Danny.
No,
you get-
no, you can't be done with Danny.
Did you get lots of
good boss.
timestamps? Oh, of course. Well, you got lots of timestamps for me to keep this nice and slick. No? Oh, well. Never mind.
It can't be timestamped. There's so much on it, man.
Just got to watch this stuff with a notepad. That's it. It's easy.
It's not. He goes right into it. It's so good and so bad at the same time for him that timestamps are foolish. You just gotta go right through it. And I just heard yesterday's pre-show, and that was the agreement. We were going to start at the 29-minute mark, and then when 10th is here, he doesn't have to go anywhere. We'll go through from the beginning to the end. But I don't care, whatever you guys want to do. But I do believe the walls are closing in on these globe believers, and I'm telling you, things are happening, things are shaking. We're going to hit critical mass by next year.
What's critical mass? What do you mean?
That means when everybody knows about it.
Right.
Unless I'm saying the statement wrong. I thought that's what it was. Right, you here?
Yeah,
He's in VC verified.
I'm
Who
also
was-
here too. I'm in
who
two
was
places
that?
at once.
Who was that guy that Bob Nodell plugged you into?
Mike Helmick,
Mike Helmick. Yeah. How do you spell his last name?
Helmick.
Helmick, okay. Did he pass away?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, is that it?
Yeah, I just needed to know. I thought I had the wrong guy.
Okay. Okay. Because all right. AJ wanted to chat with me, so AJ, you want to come up to VC Verify and we'll chit chat. Okay.
Why such an early start today, Nathan? More stress test?
No, everything seems to be working fine, actually, for a change.
Excellent. I did notice that Paula was back in your chat. It's good to see her again.
Yeah, it was. I noticed that too. But yeah, the early start is mainly because I do actually want to test it. You know, I don't want to start 15 minutes before the show, press go live 5 minutes before. Oh yeah, that's working fine. Go live and then it crashes. Whereas if it's like now connected live, it's just not actually press the button to go live in the software on YouTube, then it's still stressing my computer like it would be if it was truly live. Therefore, if there's going to be a problem, I'll notice before I've gone live. Make sense?
Absolutely. So Huey was talking a little bit about what's going to happen with Whitsitt. He said it's not a debate. He's putting him on trial. So that's going to be interesting. Don't you think? I mean, wouldn't you hate to be the guy on the other end if you give Huey about a month to put his case together? I'd hate to be the other guy.
That guy from earlier is still here. Yes, he is. Well, I hope you're impressed. This is as exciting as a pre-show gets, I guess.
There's nobody here. Is anybody in Discord?
There's a couple of people in there.
Mic check, mic check.
Hello.
What's up, Nathan? What's up, guys?
Guy.
Howdy.
You say howdy because I'm from Texas.
Actually, I was just saying it to say it, but it's cool that you're from Texas. Howdy. What part of Texas?
I'm in Fort Worth, next to Dallas.
Cowboy fan?
Of course.
Sorry to hear that.
Everything running good, Nathan, with the PC?
Yeah, fine. Seems to be.
What changes did you do, or what?
You really want me to tell you? I just
Well,
messed with it. I just
I'm
messed
one of
with
the
it all
few
weekend.
people that will understand.
Well, I got myself a few settings. One that was a bit more efficient, but used a little bit less voltage, which is a bit more unstable. And the other one that uses a bit more voltage, obviously a bit less efficient. And then I used, after figuring out those two things, a combination of the two that's even more demanding in both respects, right? And that's what I'm running with. So if something goes wrong, I've got two settings to fall back on that are slightly less demanding than what I've got. But what I've got seems to work, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm very happy. It doesn't overheat, doesn't go unstable, hasn't crashed. Can't really complain. Only taken 8 months. I mean, bloody hellfire.
Yeah, well, nothing's 100% because the good thing is you never had like software crashes or nothing like that. It's always been a physical problem with the PC, which
No,
is
it's always
something we can
software.
put hands on, right?
Sure, but it is always software. I mean, it's like OBS will crash, but that's as a result of the computer being unstable or not having enough voltage or not having enough power.
But it's good you got a few presets you can lean back on.
Exactly.
Auxiliary.
That took all weekend. Not that I'm complaining, you know.
Next thing you know, we'll be on TikTok.
I knew your voice was familiar. You ain't new. You're the TikTok president.
Spokesman, chairman. On TikTok, man, I just keep going back to a lot of mud flood videos. I don't go back to them. The algorithm just does it, and a lot of yeah, those mud flood videos are quite compelling. The little geopolymer, what all that stuff is, how they melted rocks and stuff. I just find that hugely fascinating. Like, man, how do we apply that with a 21st century mind? You know, I think it has to be
Piece
some
of
type of
nonsense,
heat.
huh?
I don't know, man.
Piece of nonsense. You still at that table? I left that table a long time ago.
The mud flood makes sense.
Still at that table.
As far as Tartaria and all that with the dragons, I don't know about that. I don't know about that free energy shit either, but definitely a reset of different civilizations.
You have any way to validate that?
No need, it's an opinion.
Okay.
You can't prove I ate ice cream yesterday, Neil. You don't have proof.
I don't even care. But if you're going to start talking about mud floods, if you want to believe that to be true, that's on you.
You need proof that I ate the ice cream, right? How would you know?
I don't care. I don't care if you did it, you didn't. But I care if people start putting mud floods. Actually, I don't care. Believe what you want. I'm at a new how do you say it? There's the new Neil. I don't care what you believe in.
So in other
Hello,
words,
New Neil.
forget about it.
Good morning, New Neil.
Hey, Tenth. Did you see that angry preacher guy?
I've seen that before. That's all.
I'd never seen it before. Boy, he was nothing in the Word of God, just his experience and astronauts and the moon. And you tell this guy to his face he's a liar.
I saw that a while back ago. No matter what the sermon is, it's always screaming. So it's not my cup of tea.
Right. But the only thing I did hear him say was that, I mean, if people are attacking him and
Yeah, that's right.
that's ridiculous. I mean, come on. I go to church all the time. The flat earth hasn't come up once. If it does, I'll talk to somebody about it. As far as me going to the pastor, I don't feel the what do you say, the push to do it. If he'll come around.
Well, we don't know the circumstances, but I agree. It's like the main person we need to focus on entirely is the one who wrote a book and is going out to churches, and that's Danny Faulkner, because once we discredit his research and show it to be faulty, then people can make up their own mind.
I gotta go bait some globies or something. Get this show popping.
Well, you want to show the pop, you need a kernel in here. Well, that went over well. Nathan, what's today's show? I'm lost as to the number.
1895.
Okay, so I put a video for today right after your link for the show.
Okay.
Yeah, you started early today.
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you want to talk about?
Nothing. Just wanted to
Nothing.
make sure everything worked.
Well, who's here that we can talk?
A few people in Discord.
No, that helps. A few people on Discord. You got lips? I guess not. Computer doing well?
Yeah, seems to be.
Awesome. Close this window behind me. There's a dog howling.
Debunking flat earth theories. Okay. Unraveling myths and embracing science. Okay.
I'm back. It's more the same, but from a different channel. I think I need a new computer mouse. This thing's getting stuck. So seriously, where's everybody?
I think they're so used to me starting later that it's about nowish that they'll start turning up.
All right, let's see what I can share. How long was yesterday's show altogether? Beginning and the after show.
I don't know, a couple of hours.
When will that be out?
Tomorrow.
Okay. I'll share this Star Trail picture. It's got a couple of things. You should have it now.
Yeah.
So here's a Star Trail picture in the background, and then you see airplane flights. So there's an airport near me here in Idaho, and I'm going to try to pick a night here in the very near future to go set up my apparatus and do the same picture, but have the full circumpolar star rotation around Polaris in the background. And then in front of me, or in front of that and in front of me would be the airport, and catch any of these lights, just the way you see here. And the reason for that is because here you're on the reference frame of Earth, and you can see the trees are in focus because we're not moving, and the tripod is steady, and the things that are moving are causing the trails. And since the Earth axial rotation is the only reason they say we get circumpolar star rotation, they forget to mention Earth's orbit around the sun, which would be the airplane lights, because now that would be going a different direction. And then if they say, well, that's going in the same direction, silly, but if they do, then you say, well, what about the sun and us and our solar system going in another direction, 500,000 miles an hour? And then if they want to just keep lying, then you got the whole Milky Way moving at over 1 million miles an hour. So this is an impossibility with all the other pictures I've shown. This picture can only be taken if you're on a stationary platform. It's just so obvious, so testable. Here's another one. And we got this one.
Okay.
All right, so this one's got titled Motion of Earth and Sun Around the Milky Way. So you've got a reference on the very far left side with a vertical arrow saying North Galactic Pole. All right, I gotta blow this up. And then they got the galactic plane. And then they got the path of the sun around the Milky Way. And then there's the ecliptic plane. And then there's the North Ecliptic Pole. And then there's Earth. And you can see those angles aren't exactly parallel. I mean, those two straight lines aren't parallel. And then you got the celestial equator. And and then they got something about the moon there. But you got all these motions, and we get perfect star trails. What say you?
That's nonsense. We already knew that.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video.
Is this another video made by CGI? Like, not CGI, by AI?
I don't know. I watched it a while back ago, and it's on my list, and it says, what's the channel is not the title name. I gotta go look at the channel.
Okay.
Where we'll be diving deep into the fascinating and often misunderstood topic of flat Earth theories. Even though we know that the Earth is not flat,
So why are we looking into it? You know, why don't you get on with your day? Why spend time making a video? I don't get it. Number one, no one is presenting flat Earth theories. We disseminate here what a theory actually is and how the globe doesn't have any, even though it leans on science extensively, like you have in your title. You know, embracing science. But you clearly don't know what theory is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be describing what flat earthers disseminate as theories. They're not.
it's important to understand why some people still believe in this idea and how
So he's going to tell you, the audience, why someone else believes something. Because he's got his crystal ball and knows why people believe things. Oh, I see.
scientific evidence has shaped our understanding of the Earth's true shape.
Okay, first mistake. Scientific evidence would be a cause and effect reasoning, validation. That would be to say that you've explained the cause of an effect. Earth shape. What's the effect? So we're only 34 seconds into the video and you've demonstrated admirably that you don't know what science is.
So, join me on this comprehensive journey as
Comprehensive? No, it's going to be absolutely pathetic. Wrong. And 30 seconds into the introduction, you're already demonstrating to an audience that you don't know what science is.
we explore the myths, misconceptions, and history surrounding the flat Earth theory, as well as the scientific evidence that irrefutably demonstrates our Earth is a sphere.
So, irrefutable scientific evidence of a non-phenomena. Oh, you're just stupid. This won't be in the purview of science ever, because it's not an effect that you need to know the cause of. So, no, you're not going to empirically validate anything with science. What you're doing is every single pseudoscience practitioner's methodology, which is to say you're utilizing the illusion of having science by saying it a lot. Not knowing what it means, but saying you've got scientific validity for the non-beliefs that aren't validated in the mind's eye of other people that you aren't. Oh, it's just sad.
Over the course of human history, people from various civilizations have believed in the idea of a flat Earth. This concept can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia, where the Babylonians envisioned the Earth as a flat disk floating in the ocean.
As demonstrated by...
However, it
Oh, not demonstrated by anything. I see. But just take your word for it then. Not going to cite your primary source research to prove this claim that you've now made about flat Earth. Right. So even by a standard of flat Earth, you'd have it to be hauled over the coals because you're not presenting any evidence.
was the ancient Greeks who
Nathan.
first...
Oh, no, it's going to tell us about the ancient Greeks without any evidence either.
Nathan, this is a good point to reference Danny Faulkner's statements of, you think that people only have, thought this was happening for 500 years. No, we knew the Earth was a sphere 2,500 years ago. This guy, just like all other citations we can find, all these ancient cultures knew it was flat. So it's like it started with the Greeks and maybe somebody before, who knows, but started with one Greek and then two Greek. And for Danny Faulkner, that's the entire world knew it was a ball, just because the Greeks fantasized about spheres.
Watching my bitrate drop. Good job I'm not live. Nothing to do with the computer, just the internet connection just suddenly wavered down to almost nothing. Hey ho.
first provided empirical evidence that our planet is a sphere.
Empirical. To test by experiment. What's an experiment? The assertion of a cause for an effect you've studied. You're not going to do this. This falls outside the purview of science.
Notable
Is
Greek
he in a
philosophers.
Nathan,
category
your
error?
Yeah, it's in a category area.
Your
yes.
mic sounds different, Nathan.
All right. Thanks. I guess.
It's not. It sounds the same to me, but it might be Discord.
It's Discord. Is there some issue with Discord? This is the time to say we're still in the pre-show.
No, it's better now. But for a second, you went into like stereo mode or something.
Yeah, I think that was the internet. I think that what was happening was the for some reason the internet connection, because I'm live, I'm not. I'm just connected live. I'm not actually live. It shows me the bitrate. Well, I just watched it drop to almost zero, so I can only assume that would affect everything.
Oh, it faltered a bit.
Yeah, don't worry. It seems to be fine now. 18,000 kilobits per second. That's good.
Philosophers and mathematicians such as Pythagoras, Parmenides, and Eratosthenes contributed to this understanding, with
That's maths.
Eratosthenes even calculating the
That's maths.
Earth's circumference with
Why did you just blag that this was all science? Calculations, they're not science, they're math. Idiot.
No, he said
Impressive.
empirically.
Empirically
He said
mathed it. Empirically used an abstract methodology. No, that's not going to happen, Neil. Maths is abstract. Science deals with the physical and natural world. He's alluded to his calculations being science for the last straight minute. Now we're into examples because he didn't give any about the Greeks. Now he's into just, it's maths. It's calculations. Well, that's not science, is it? What bloody outrage. Well, what are you doing?
Well,
You're brainwashing the audience. Oh, you want me to react to it? I'll just give up. You guys go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I was going to make a comment on Pythagoras. That's the same guy that Danny Faulkner used, that this guy's using. And it's just math. It's not anything empirical.
Is this an actual guy or just some AI generated BS?
I don't know.
And might I
Nathan took
add,
his ball and went home.
good morning, guys. And might I add this? With they make these quotes about these three guys, but these three guys could be like in a consensus of like Tyson, DeGrasse Tyson, Faulkner, and Michikuku, whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? 3 or 4 guys who started professing this stuff. And who knows what the rest of the Greeks, the rest of the Greeks are probably saying, that's not what my granddaddy told me, my daddy told me, but we will never know that. So these guys just spew these people's names out as if that's supposed to substantiate a, a, a legitimate cause or a
Hey,
legitimate.
D Rose, and also because it's old. You know, it's all about old stuff. No, ain't no new scientists today getting any type of credit for anything. It's all about the old guys.
Exactly.
Well, they were also occultic. They also believed that the planets were gods and worshiped them. And so you got pagans saying, in our math and our calculations, this is the shape of our planet, and it's empirically discovered when we just went through those calculations and the presupposition with math.
But no science.
And don't forget, they like little boys.
What happened? Nathan took his ball and went home? Boy,
No,
touchy today.
He took his disc.
You know, you're playing ball outside, the kid's not getting his way, but it's his ball. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
takes his ball and goes home.
I remember that. That happened to me quite a few times when I was a kid. Come on, Johnny. We were just kidding. Okay, we'll pick you first next time.
Yes,
Come
yes,
on.
you'll be first. You could be the quarterback.
Yeah, just bring that ball back.
Nathan, I know you got thicker skin than that. Come on, guy. Come on, bring it back.
And he went to the restroom.
It's a coffee break. He's just using us to get coffee. Come on.
He
Pushing
gets
buttons,
mad.
whatever.
He gets upset when I jump his punchline. I can't do that no more. I promise I won't jump the punchline anymore, Sir Nathan Oakley.
Hang on. This is the new Neil speaking.
You're right. You heard it today, right? You heard me introduce myself as the new Neo.
How does it
Is
feel
that
to share a name
calculated
with
new Neil
fraud?
or empirically measured new Neil?
It's going to be the calm, cool, and collected Neo.
Wait, I'm cool collected. Are you a bill collector now? What's going on?
Flat Earth Neil.
Like I say, calm and cool. No matter what Danny Faulkner says, no matter what the angry preacher says,
Wow.
no matter
calm and
what
cool.
these people say about this and that. Listen, I was reading something in scripture. It said, those that have ears, let them hear.
Yep.
If you don't have ears, you're not going to hear. So I'm not going to waste my breath.
Well, that's a lot like trying to force someone to listen to you. So you send them videos or you bug them, and then he tells you're bugging me. I'm not interested in the subject. So it's best to ask questions first and say, is this important to you? Is this something you desire to engage with? And if they say no, then go away. If they say yeah, then send them the videos because they gave you permission.
Right.
You know, Neil, that's an insult to deaf people.
Yeah, but they won't hear it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, you see my point, right? The blind man.
They'll pick up the vibrations.
All right. Well, Nathan must have been offended.
You know, I
Or
hate
his
when I do
computer
that too,
crashed.
because it sounds like he stopped. Like just now, like I was talking, but I probably started at the same time. But he thinks it bothers him. It bothers the people doing it too, because it would be great to just come in right after the guy finished and not in between.
It's hard to tell sometimes. Most of the times, he gets in the flow. You just let him do it, and then sometimes you think he's done. I've done it, and then you say something. Oh my gosh, my panel! I go, what?
Hey,
Well, how
Ted,
many
I tried everything.
seconds?
I tried the 3-second count. 1.
There you
2,
go. That's
3.
what I'm saying. How many seconds do you wait? 5, 3? Especially when
Well, I
Nathan
was
talks, he does it like he'll say, "Well, first of all, you're trying to find out that," and he
well,
tries
yeah, but
because
you
he
need
speaks
to
like
know he's going into something there, right?
exactly.
So not so much Nathan, anybody. Like when anybody talk, I always wind up smashing into him. But I said 3, 2, 1. All right, he's done. And I start, and he starts. So it's like I give up.
You know who's the hardest to do? Adam, because Adam goes, "You know what are you? Eh? I know you 12 head
Yeah.
Celestial has been against you. Eh?" It's like this pause of the eh?
Yeah.
Well, Adam
Yeah.
sounds like he's always eating a graham cracker or something.
Is it enough? Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we gotta
There you
save.
go.
We gotta save enough of
Brian
that video
sounds
for the
Rose.
show.
I'm not finished, D Rose. I'm not finished, D Rose. See
Brian
the
sounds
worst.
like he always got a clipboard in his hand.
No, Brian is the right man. One time in chat, the guy says, and I didn't even pay attention to a guy in chat said, "How many times does this guy say right?" And then everybody in chat started counting. I got up to, I think, 39 rights. It was a little fun we were having in chat. Right? Okay.
Well,
right.
after all those rights,
You know-
did a lot of people left the show?
I saw that one coming. But
Too many
I
rights.
saw this one a UK show, a European show. They just kept saying "isn't it? Isn't it?" They kept saying "isn't it?" together, and it was driving me up the fucking wall. It was like, "Hey man, can y'all cut that out?"
Isn't it bothering you right now? Just recalling the
Yeah,
story.
they put it two together. You know, it's very close to what they use, but saying we do the same thing with "ain't" and stuff like that. So
I noticed the English say yeah. Like when they don't a sentence, they'll say yeah.
Yeah.
yeah is a question to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
That's
also
very strange.
like in Spain, the people will say something, and instead of saying yes or do you understand, do you agree, they go no, and they do
I
this
do
little.
that sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mexicans do that too. It always drives me up the wall. But the one that kills me the most is filling out any type of form here in the U.S. Any other people from every other country, we do month, day, year. They do day, month, year, something like that, and it drives
That's
us crazy because
That's how the military
it's
do.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Americans do it different, and it drives us all crazy.
Yeah, but every time somebody from the military fills out a chart, they put day, month, year. And it disorientates me because I have to enter that into the computer.
Hey, 10th, I want to know if this is an old people thing. In Mexico, people count 8 days instead of a week.
Hang on. That's
They'll
good.
say,
Before you hang on, before you transition to the old people thing and call me to be an expert on it, I just say that when the military does it that way, it just shows a weak military.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon, crypto, and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now, we are joined by Neil, 10th Man, and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Good morning. Good
Where'd
morning.
everyone go? I thought there was more people than that here.
You got to say yeah after your sentences, Nathan.
Yeah.
I thought there was more people here, yeah? No?
There
Okay.
you go.
See? Okay, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
You need an R value for a globe that makes the claim that they do know the distance to the sun based on R value that they can't produce.
Any evidence of the R value, Earth radius?
Hold on. It says 93 million miles away in the Google search.
Right, Neil. But why 93 million? What's that based on?
You
What's
just covered
reference
this
point?
10 seconds ago. Based on an R value, based on Kepler's third law, based on Huygens' assumptions that Venus is the same size as Earth. Okay? We just covered this.
Okay.
Any evidence of the R value, Earth radius?
Well, you're going to need a sphere for that you live on, that you're able to somehow measure a radius. And how would you do that?
You could always just assume it and then take a differential between a flat surface that we're dwelling atop and eye level when you raise an altitude and say that that's the curve when you calculate the difference between the two. In fact, that's what they do.
Yeah. In fact, if you read Eratosthenes' account, he pre-assumed the Earth to be a sphere. Al-Biruni pre-assumed the Earth to be a sphere, and then went on to do a right-angled triangle having a flat baseline, which could never be on the sphere.
You have to pre-assume.
That's what Nathan just said.
Indeedy. Now, we've had a few technical issues last week on this show, but hopefully I've spent the entire weekend ironing those creases out and have got a fallback plan should there be any issues going forward. But based on my hope that we're going to be really stable throughout this live show, I'd like you all to smash the share button. It'd be nice to get up to 150 live viewers again. So please share the show. There's 35 people watching right now, so I know we've only just started, but yeah, smash that share button. Hopefully we'll get a few more people watching. We'll have a couple more housekeeping questions today, because why not? Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core? Hell! At the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth.
That was really good yesterday. I'm wondering what kind of fire suits they had to wear when they went down there with their sextants to take the measurements.
I might bring it up and play it, actually. So, nice, easy video for me to actually make, which I always appreciate, because it's only a couple of minutes long. But you can get a general gist of it by going and watching it, or, if you prefer, you can just watch it now, because I'm going to play it out once I skip through these ads and get it the right size. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so this video is called Hell's Angles. Can't get the play on words, then there's no hope for you. Anyway, Danny Faulkner, as above, so below. Here we go.
But if you go farther north, it's going to be higher. If you go farther south, it's going to be lower. And so if you extended that rotation axis to the Earth up above and down below, now halfway between, that would be the equator. That's your line there. Now let me pick a location on the Earth, say the Ark Encounter.
Anybody notice that he said on the Earth?
Yes, he did. He thinks he's in the center of the Earth, on the Earth.
And the angle that you have drawn comes from the centre. But you said on the Earth. What you're drawing is not on the Earth. So you've lied to a congregation full of people, Danny. May God have mercy on your soul.
From the center of the Earth to that point up on the surface of the Earth.
A moment ago, it was on the Earth. Tricky with words? Obviously, with a Christian audience, you'd expect him to be of the utmost sincerity with what he says. So now we're in the Earth, burning in the fiery hells of the molten iron core to acquire this lying angle. I'm going to suggest not Nobody's getting angles from a hell-like molten iron core.
The horizontal line and that second line I just drew there is equal to your latitude.
How can that be possible? It isn't. He's also made it clear that we're in the Earth taking this angle. But that is not taken from the center of Earth.
It's close to 39 degrees.
When you're in hell.
What he's showing is the celestial sphere model and ignoring that that's the flat plane that bisects it is the Earth you're stood upon. And he's saying instead of it being the Earth you're stood upon, you're actually inside in hell.